I told you. I told you. NFL season, this whole fucking season has felt rigged. And what do we get? We get the most ref involved Super Bowl that's ever been. And who's it favoring? It's favoring Tom Brady in the most absurd way imaginable. Like, it's unbelievable. I mean, the NFL is professional wrestling at this point, and I honestly, I almost wish I didn't like the Vikings so I could just give up on this fucking sport because the NFL has become such a joke. And you know, college football is a much better product. College football doesn't have drama because it's pretty much Alabama and Clemson, Ohio State, just a couple teams every year, but the actual product is way better. And they can have officiating problems. Every sport has officiating problems, but they don't rig shit in any other sport like they rig it in the NFL these days. And I mean, even the CBS crew called it out at halftime. What's going on? And it just it's unbelievable how they're not even trying to hide it. Like normally, it's like you at least try to kind of hide it. Maybe you give a call or two, the other way just to kind of make it look better. They're not even doing that. It's just been I mean, not so much of the second half, but by this point, it hasn't mattered because the game's over at halftime, and you can tell the Chiefs knew it was over because they're not even, they're kind of just going through the motions at this point. But every time they sneeze on a receiver, it's a flag, and almost none of these calls are legit. Brady throws a pick. Oh no, we're going to throw a flag and wipe out the interception, even though it wasn't a flag. And then they're trying a field goal. Oh, we're going to say that's offsides, but they don't show a replay that shows offside. So I guess we're just supposed to take their word for it. And then they're calling a fucking holding in the end zone to give them a first and goal at the 1. Like, it's just, they're not even fucking hiding it that it's completely rigged. And I knew this was going to happen. I mean, it was obvious. I mean, the team that got burned 2 weeks ago was the Packers, but now it's the Chiefs getting burned, and this might never end. I mean, the NFL, the NFL made their choice between Brady and Rodgers, and they damn sure made their choice between Brady and Mahomes. So now Mahomes will play for another 15 years. But Brady's GOAT status will never be in question now because, well, remember that Super Bowl that Brady won in a blowout over Mahomes? So their golden boy for till the end of time, as long as the NFL exists, will be Tom Brady. They've ensured that Mahomes will never be able to touch him. And it's like an addiction. I want to be done with the NFL. I really do. After seeing some of the stuff I've seen this season, I really just want to be done with the NFL. But I love the Vikings. I can't be done with the NFL. And I want to be done with it. But I wish the Vikings had won a Super Bowl. Sometimes they won a Super Bowl so I can just be done with this, and I don't have to worry about it. Oh look, now they're calling a flag on Tampa Bay with when it's a 22-point game and the game is over. This will be where they start calling some rather insignificant flags on Tampa Bay to make it look a little better in the final score in the scorecard, but but there's legitimate people like the CBS halftime crew was calling out how bad the officiating was and how biased and wrong it was. We'll see what happens in the days and weeks to come, but I mean, you still hear about 15 years later that Seahawks-Steelers Super Bowl and the officiating there. People still talk about that. They're going to talk about this one for a long time to come too, and it's not going to matter. Brady's going to get his seventh ring, and he's going to have gone to Tampa Bay and immediately won a Super Bowl, and he's the GOAT. And, he's the greatest thing that's ever existed in the history of America. But, people seem to be catching on, at least. I mean, I've never seen, so many people calling out a game for being rigged as this, so yeah, I'll probably do like a full recap later. It'll probably just be a lot more whining about the officiating, because this has just been bullshit. NFL gets a bad Super Bowl out of the deal too. They deserve it. Fuck the NFL.